Do you remember the New Mexico law student who was hassled by the cops outside his dorm room because somebody allegedly saw him bringing alcohol inside?
Okay, so do you have any alcohol in your possession?
I don't answer questions on what grounds?
Okay, so you don't have any alcohol in your possession?
On what grounds?
Well, he has had now another interaction with the police there, and this time he ended up arrested.
You don't want to give me your ID? Just give me your name and date of birth, and that's it.
Yeah, unfortunately, this case.
If you're demanding my ID,
that's
a fourth ID.
I'm not demanding. I did never
So it's
demand.
an ask?
All I said is give it to me, okay?
Ask?
You already failed to identify yourself, okay? Give me your left, give me your right arm. You want to play games, brother. I'm here being nice, and you don't want to give me your name and date of birth.
But shortly after the patrol cop arrested him, the supervisor shows up and apologizes and lets him out.
Hi, sir. So I'm the supervisor here. I was just made aware of what happened.
Yeah.
So I don't think it qualifies for any crime, okay?
Doesn't qualify for a crime?
I'm gonna go ahead and release you.
Of course. I want that officer's badge number.
And then the law student has a debate with the supervisor about what the Fourth Amendment law is that applied to the situation and whether the detainment and the arrest was unlawful or not.
This whole thing was unlawful. The moment he put his hands on me,
How can we fix it? Okay, the deputy made a mistake. That's gonna be addressed, of course.
so the detention was lawful, you're saying?
The detention was. The fellow ID and the arrest was not.
The issue of whether and when police officers can forcibly detain somebody pursuant to an investigatory stop under the Fourth Amendment is actually an extremely complex one, and there are a lot of misconceptions. Let's look at this new footage, and then I'll give you the law straight from the horse's mouth, right from the 10th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals, on what the law is here. Basically, this is one of those situations where cops show up and they say that somebody had called them and reporting somebody who was suspicious. In those scenarios where no crime has been reported, where the cops have seen no crime taking place, can the police officer detain somebody against their will in order to investigate them, get their ID, get their date of birth, get their full name, etc.? Or is that person constitutionally free to leave? We'll get to that, but first, do you remember the prior incident that made its way onto Audit the Audit and several other channels? Let's go through some of my favorite parts of that one. It's sort of a similar issue.
We got a report that you were seen walking into your dorm with alcohol. So
Okay.
is there alcohol in there?
I don't answer questions. What's your name and your badge number?
Officer Purtle, NMSU Police.
Right now you're asking.
Yes.
And I have the right to say no. Because you're asking. You're not. It's not a lawful order. I need you to make it a lawful order.
You're being detained for suspicion of minor in possession of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
We need to see your ID.
Okay, and if not?
And if not, you could be considered
Could?
concealing identity.
Because New Mexico statute says that concealing of identity is a secondary charge. I would have to have been arrested or suspected of a crime.
No.
Right now, you hear just
You don't have to
hearsay.
be arrested or suspected. You're being suspected of having possession.
On what grounds?
Okay, so do you have any alcohol in your possession?
I don't answer questions. On what grounds?
Okay, so you don't have any alcohol in your possession.
On what grounds? I don't answer questions. On what ground? Yeah, that's our room, bro.
What?
Nah, they're trying to go in, bro. They're trying to ID me and shit, but nah.
Okay, so who are you talking to?
I'm recording you.
You're recording. Okay,
You're not
very good.
involved at all, so if you want to
Yeah,
hang
if
out
you want
over
to
there
hang out
with
down
them,
there, you can. That's fine. What we're trying to do is we're trying to be cooperative with you and have you be cooperative with us.
Mm-hmm.
Help us clear this matter up.
Okay, I gave him my name,
You,
Joel.
Ben, what's your last name?
You don't need my last name and you do not need my date of birth unless you want to run my name through your system.
you have-
Are you trying to run my name through the
Do you have
system?
warrants for your arrest? Is there
Are you?
anything
I don't
that
answer
would be
questions.
concerned?
I don't answer questions. I'm
don't
asking
answer
questions.
questions.
I don't. It's my Fifth Amendment. Is it or is it not?
Okay, so the question is that like the officer told you, you're being suspected of having possession of alcohol underage. So in that case, the easiest way to prevent this is for you to let us know. Either you got somebody saw you carry a case of beer. You have a case of beer in your possession?
I don't answer questions.
All right. So the next step in this process would be, would you give us consent to check your room?
Nope.
To make sure that
Nope.
you have no alcohol in your possession?
Nope. I do not consent to any searches nor seizures.
Okay, very good. All right. This is completely up to you how you want to play this.
You could get a warrant, or you could,
So
or you have probable
right
cause.
now,
Go
right
ahead.
now we do have reasonable suspicion that possibly a crime had been committed.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to investigate that. You are certainly welcome to refuse if you wish.
I know.
But we need to ID you.
Or
And if you do not present your identification, you can face a non-traffic
Could.
citation.
you're saying could. I need you to
Because
say
I'm
you
giving
will.
I'm giving you the opportunity to.
No, I need that ultimatum.
cooperative
I will
with
give
us.
you my ID if you say that I'm going to go get arrested if I don't give it to you.
So you'll give us if we say that.
If you say that, yes, sir. Because that's already grounds for me to set up litigation against you.
So you're threatening to sue us.
I ain't threatening nothing, brother.
That's what you just said.
It's not a
It
threat.
gives you grounds to.
It's not a threat. It gives me grounds. Does it or does it not? I don't answer questions.
And so it wasn't really a big deal. Didn't end up in arrest or anything like that. It just ended up in YouTube videos. Here was Audit the Audit's analysis on what happened.
Mr. Martinez gets an A for strongly asserting his constitutional rights by refusing to answer questions, denying the officer's consent to search his dorm room, and declining the officer's requests that he identify himself. That being said, in future encounters, I would suggest that Mr. Martinez keep in mind that reasonable suspicion is determined based on the facts known to the officer, and that officers are typically not required to articulate the basis of their reasonable suspicion to the individuals they detain. Accordingly, if a court determined that the officers in this situation had reasonable suspicion based on certain facts about the anonymous tip that were not shared with Mr. Martinez, it could also conclude that he was obligated to identify himself.
And so Audit the Audit is exactly right. And what were the chances that this law student was going to end up in another encounter with police officers, really with the exact same issue, with, as far as we know, an anonymous call, an anonymous report. This time, not even reporting that a crime has occurred.
Hello. Buenas noches. Agustín Méndez, mucho gusto.
¿Cómo está?
Bien, bien. How you doing, brother?
Bien good.
All right.
Yeah.
¿Tienen problemas con el carro?
Oh, no, se me había quedado afuera y luego se me perdieron las llaves allá adentro, en el yonque.
According to the timestamp on the body cam, this happened on January 8th of this year. Why did this officer arrive at the scene? Well, here, the law student explains it to the supervisor after everything had already happened.
I was in the junkyard, right? During business hours, I was doing my job, everything with my hands on. I've been working, as you can tell. Then as I'm in the junkyard, you've seen how big it is. I lost my keys in there.
Yeah, you can go pull parts of it.
Yeah. Lost them, couldn't find them. They gave me a chance. It was like, they closed at 5. It was like 4:30. And I was like, please let me in. Like, all right, fine, go on. They looked and they picked me up on a truck. They said, hey, the alarms are going to activate automatically. You need to get out. What about your car? Because it was parked inside the property. I was like, well, I don't know. Like, so the owner or one of the employees gave me 3 choices. Like, okay, choice 1, you could leave it here. It's all secure. We have sensors, cameras, and whatever. If anything, well, and you'll come back tomorrow and look for your keys, or get a locksmith to make you a key, or we could get a tractor or one of the forklifts to move your car right outside. And like, if you can move my car right outside, so I could call the locksmith, it would be fine. Locksmith got there, and during this whole time, I was just waiting outside, right? The locksmith got there, and he was like, we did everything right, and then I just see a patrol. I was like, whatever. I get down, and it's like, hey, like, oh, we got a call, and that you were inside the property, that you were looking at, or what, he said that you were inside the property, and then I was like, okay, and then they say, okay, what's your name?
Basically, he had lost his keys in a junkyard. When the junkyard closed, he was forced to wait outside the junkyard and had to wait on a locksmith for his car. Apparently, somebody had called the cops reporting a suspicious person.
Okay, say that again.
I lost the keys in the junkyard over there.
Okay.
So I called them to come and get the...
To come open the gate or what?
Huh?
To come open the gate?
No, the key. The car. The car is the one that lost the keys. I lost the keys to the car.
Oh, like you went into the property and you dropped the keys?
Yeah. I was in there doing, like regular junkyard stuff, looking for my parts. When I was leaving is when I found out I didn't have my keys. They let me go in, look for them all over the 30 acres of cars they have.
Okay.
Didn't find them, so they just grabbed the tractor and moved the car outside so I could call them locksmiths.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's weird, yeah, because we got a call with a gentleman with your description. That's why, on the property. Were you the only one on there?
Yeah, he just got here to the...
No, we had a description of your description that you were walking around the property.
Yeah, well, I was here and the car was closed, so I couldn't get out.
So let me understand this car's yours?
So, at the moment, I just bought it.
You already bought it?
Yeah.
Okay. What's wrong with it besides the key? It starts?
Yeah, it starts and everything. There's a kid just came in and picked up some spare parts.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, they just sent us out here because I'm wondering if the owners, because there's cameras on your brother.
Oh yeah.
So they saw
Yeah,
you walking around.
Yeah, and they also told me like oh, the alarm's activated after 5 automatically.
Okay.
So.
But they closed the gate behind you or what?
Yeah, they
okay.
they just moved the car here and they closed the gate.
Okay. What's your last name, brother?
Just Martinez.
I'm sorry?
I don't want to give any identifying information. I'll just give you my first name, Joel.
Well, I need your info, man, because I'm talking to you, brother, because you're the person that they called on. So, Martinez, first name?
Nah, it's Joe.
What's that?
It's just like that. I'm not gonna give my information right now.
Okay, why not?
Just.
Okay. Now here's the thing, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you, Mr. Martinez.
Yeah.
Now, me asking you for your information is nothing illegal.
Oh,
Okay?
it's not.
I'm just asking you because you're the person they called on. I need to find out who you are, and you're telling me one thing, so I gotta call the property manager and ask them if they were the ones that allowed you on the property.
Yeah, that's the investigation, right?
Yeah. So I need your name, brother.
Well, I gave you my last name, and
Yeah.
you could
what's your
just
first name?
you could just call the property man. And
Do you have an ID?
I do.
You mind if I see it?
I do.
Okay, why is that, brother? Because I don't want to be difficult, man. 'Cause
No,
you know
I don't. I'm trying to be difficult
as long as I'm cooperative with you, you're cooperative with me, man.
Oh, yeah, well-
this goes a lot smoother for both of us.
Okay, Jen, we'll leave it like this, and we can call it truth. I'll give you my last name, and that's about it. Because at the end of the day, I'm not legally provided to give you the full name. I'll just leave it at the last name, bro.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, is, brother, and I don't know. I don't know where you heard this from or what, but since I'm investigating what's going on in this property, and you're the one that matches the description,
Yeah.
I need to know who I'm talking to. Now, if you want to take this further, you want to complain, you want to whatever, it's up to you, brother. But see, look, I'm coming to you respectfully, bro.
Man.
Okay.
What was it? Mendes?
Mendes, brother, Mendes.
Mendes.
So I'm just investigating what's going on, bro. Now,
Yeah.
if you fail to ID yourself, I'm asking you lawfully to see who you are. You're the one making it difficult. Now, if you want to impair my investigation, that's fine. That's on you. Okay, but I don't think you want to take it to that extent, brother. For giving me your name and date of birth.
¿No tienes una identificación?
No me la quiero dar, señor.
¿De aquí?
No, tuya, yours.
¿Pero usted?
No, you have any ID?
Sí, I do.
Show him.
Oh, no.
Okay, so I'm going to warn you now. I'm going to warn you now, brother. You don't give me your ID or your full name, I'm going to arrest you for failure to ID.
Okay, so...
Because I'm investigating, brother. That's all I'm doing.
Okay. It's fine like that. Okay, I'll give you my name after what I say this.
Okay. All I need is your name and date of birth, bro. That's it.
Under the
I'm not
Fourth
asking
Amendment?
you. I'm not.
And I'm a law student here too, so
Perfect.
it's not that
I'm not asking you for a blood sample. I'm not asking for your DNA. All I'm asking.
That's a CSUM identification.
Okay, correct. So I'm gonna investigate.
Calls are not reasonable articulable suspicion to suspect me of a crime
You know what,
under
sir?
Florida versus JL
Okay,
under the Supreme
perfect. But I'm not here to
ruling.
argue with you.
Yeah, I'm not here to
just
argue. I'm
doing
here to
my job.
defend my rights.
So I'm
I'm a law
asking
student.
for your name and okay, that has nothing to do with me because I don't know you.
It doesn't.
I don't know
you either, officer.
Okay.
I thought
Look,
you were a chill officer when you go down like, hey,
I'm
here's my hands,
cool with it.
whatever.
I'm
They're like,
cool.
hey, okay, he'll respect
I'm
my
cool.
rights. I'll just give out my last
But
name.
see, you're the one making this difficult. All I'm asking you for is your name.
It's
brother.
really not difficult. And it's not impeding your investigation because it's not a physical, or
Okay.
it doesn't,
Well,
it doesn't.
Okay.
Giving you my ID doesn't
and you
help
said
you out.
you're in law school, right? You're a law student?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So you got to understand, sir, I'm investigating. Okay. You matched the description of the gentleman that was in the yard. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the only
they
reason
say I
why
was
I'm
in the
asking
yard?
for him. Yes, they said that you were in the yard.
Yeah, that says you were in the property.
So that's
In
the
the
only reason
property?
why I'm asking you. Yes, brother. And I'm not
Okay,
gonna run
so-
your name.
okay,
I'm not.
no,
All I'm doing is that I made contact with you, and that's it.
Well,
but
yeah, you can just put it,
now
like
you're
this.
making it bigger than it is because all I'm asking is for your name and date of birth. You don't want to give me your ID? Just give me your name and date of birth, and that's it.
And unfortunately, the state takes you.
Yeah, dude, you have to identify yourself, man. And you're making
Texas is more.
You're like you said, all you got to do is your name and
You're making this bigger than it is, brother. That's
Okay,
it.
okay, we go on our way, man.
All I have is Martinez. You're giving me your first name like a
That's
normal
it. Okay,
person would.
Okay, my
Like
name is not gonna help you in your investigation. First of all.
Yeah, but I made contact with you, brother. That's the only thing,
Contact
bro.
is not enough reasonable suspicion for you
Okay,
to seize my
you're
identification. under the
You're not
Fourth
being placed on
Amendment.
arrest or anything, brother. Okay. That's,
Okay, are you asking for my name?
I'm asking you for your full name,
Okay,
brother.
if you're asking for my name, I exercise my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. If you're demanding my ID, that's a fourth.
I'm not demanding. I did never
So it's
demand.
an ask?
All I said is give it to me, okay?
Ask?
Now here's the problem. I'm investigating, okay?
Okay, but
That's
are you
what I need
asking
to
for my
understand.
identification or
I'm asking you for name and date of birth.
So
That's
you're
all
asking.
I'm asking for.
asking, right?
That's it, brother.
Don't answer questions.
All right, man. So if you want to pay this car with me, man, I got all night. No, you know what? You don't need a supervisor because what's gonna happen is, dude, I'm gonna place you under arrest for failure ID, okay? And that's gonna be on you, not me, bro.
So you already said that it's gonna be under arrest.
Yes.
I will be under arrest if I don't give you my
Go ahead and
identification.
turn around, brother. Go ahead and turn around.
So I'll give you my deer now.
Go ahead and turn around. No. Put your hands on the car. You already failed to identify yourself. Okay. Give me your left. Give me your right arm. You want to play games, brother. I'm here being nice, and you don't want to give me your name and date of birth, and then all this just for a car, bro. That's it. Okay. Bueno pues. Ahí estamos. I'm gonna read your Miranda. Thank you, sir.
car so we can impound it.
Yeah, it says he just purchased it. All right. Come on, bro.
Okay. You come?
All right. Stand right there. No, you're staying right there because you're going to my unit. You're under arrest.
Oiga, señor. Oiga, señor, ¿puede pagar mi teléfono, por favor? ¿Puede pagar mi teléfono, por favor? Está allí en la ventana de enfrente, por favor. ¿La puede pagar? Mi teléfono antes de que se muera.
All right, go and take a second there.
First time on the back of the car.
Man, you say you're a law student, bro. ¿Qué pues?
And you'll
All
see.
you had to do was give me your
You'll see.
date of birth.
No, you'll see when we get to the station. You'll see when you get to the station.
We see here what we usually see with these incidents, and that is that the police officer doesn't really have any investigation. The only thing he's investigating is the individual he's talking to. It's a fishing expedition. He wanted his ID, and he wanted to search his car. That's exactly what he ended up doing. Look at this. He gets the ID, and then he searches the guy's car. Wait, what was the investigation again? Why was he there again? I forgot.
That was in his wallet? Yeah. Well, thank God you rolled down, dude.
Did you have keys on him?
No, there's no keys. Supposedly, he was telling me that he lost them inside. He just bought this car from inside. That's what he told me.
There's a couple of grinders, but there's nothing illegal
No.
right now.
He's saying he just bought this car inside the lot. And he was in there looking for parts, and he dropped the keys in there. So he's waiting. He was waiting for a locksmith to start the car. So I need to call the owner to see if it's true.
So what do you want to do? You want to impound it or what?
This car, yeah.
You got 1015 for
Failure to ID, man. During an investigation. What is that? I can also charge him with what is that? Interference in my investigation. So
Once again, there's no actual police work being achieved here. There's no service to the community being provided. No crimes are being solved. This guy's just getting retaliated against by this police officer because the officer feels that he can do that because he's going to force this law student to respect his authority. So looking at the timestamps on the body cam, it's about an hour later when the guy's in jail, and then the supervisor arrives and he lets him out, basically apologizes, and you'll see what happens.
Hi, sir. So I'm the supervisor here. I was just made aware of what happened.
Yeah.
So I don't think it qualifies for any crime, okay?
It doesn't qualify for a crime?
I'm gonna go ahead and release him.
Of course. I want that officer's badge number.
Yeah, I will
This
give
is
it to you.
unacceptable. Oh my God, I am so fucking pissed right now.
Let me finish talking to you, okay?
What's your badge number?
Mine?
Yeah, or your name?
Sergeant Procopio,
Procopio?
ID 5701. I'll give you a case number.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna get all cameras, dash cam, body cam, phone calls, everything. It did not constitute a crime. Look what he did.
Let's go talk over here.
Oh,
And the light's working.
my belongings?
Let me go get it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just got here.
Yeah.
And I was just briefed of the incident. So I'm trying to get all the facts of what happened.
Yeah.
So based on what he told me, like I said, I would constitute the failed ID crime.
That's
But
right.
let me get in for you.
Oh,
Let me go talk to the deputy first.
can you get him here? Just so you can educate him and so it doesn't happen
And
again.
that's why I want to get with you. But I want to ask him some questions first.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. And they're like, okay, but I'm not going to give you my name out because I'm not legally required to give it to you right now. I'm a law student. I let them know too. An MSU criminal justice major. I let them know I'm a law student, and under Florida versus JL, an anonymous call or a call is not enough reasonable articulable suspicion to articulate a crime because RAS is only based on the facts known to the officer, right? So I told, and he was like, I don't want to hear, like, give me your ID. No, he wasn't demanding. He was asking, I'm asking you for your name. I'm asking. And then until he said, well, now I'm going to arrest you. And as you can tell, I'm a really cordial guy. I'll talk to you. Whatever. Don't disrespect me. Obviously, someone randomly goes up to you and just asking you for your name and stuff. Just nothing. It's not something you do. it's self-respect what I was doing. He arrests me, makes fun of my studies, makes fun of everything. He's like, okay, you think it's funny now. But your supervisor, and when we were over there too, I told him, call your supervisor. You don't need a supervisor, just turn around and put your hands. All this could have been saved if people would have called you. You would have gone there and you said, hey.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was barely made aware of it.
Yeah, and he made an attempt. He's like, no, you don't need a supervisor. Took me in, and I told him with a smile on my face, this is not what you want to do, man. This is really not what you want to do.
Okay, let me go meet with him. So that
they also searched my car without consent. So
that, I guess, like you said,
this does not look good for the department. I'm gonna say it.
As far as searching it, I understand that the deputy made a mistake. And when a person is arrested, we have to do what we call an inventory.
Yeah, it's an inventory check.
So
I get that.
It's all part. It's not separate from the.
But when it's an unlawful arrest, that makes an unlawful search. It's an unlawful. This whole thing was unlawful. The moment he put his hands on me, that was unlawful. This whole situation became unlawful. Therefore, that was an unlawful search. I lost the guy that was going to give me a key. So now I have to call someone to come and pick me up, and the car's going to have to stay wherever it's at. Still, I can't get a hand of a locksmith there now.
So, how can we fix it? Okay, the deputy made a mistake. That's going to be addressed, of course.
Well, where's the deputy? You said he was going to be here.
He's here. But I want to meet with you first.
Okay.
My understanding is that someone called and said that there was suspicious activity. I get it, it's not a crime.
It's not.
But that's enough reason to detain someone.
Not detain. It's enough reason to make contact. When you illegally detain someone, that's already a seize of someone's person because you temporarily are seizing that person onto your authority. Because if you tell me I'm detained, I can't walk off, right? That's a question. Like if you say, Joe, you're detained, can I just walk off?
When you're investigating a possible trespasser or possible...
No. That's not my question though. My question is, if you're detained, can I just walk off? Like if you said, hey,
you know the answer to this, sir.
You can. If it's a consensual, like for example, like if you see me. Are you talking about consensual encounter? Yeah, if you see me like jumping a fence, that's enough reasonable suspicion to say, okay, I think he's burglarizing their house. If whatever it is, the case, whatever. But that's or if someone calls and say, oh, I saw this guy that looks like me right now jumping a fence. That's enough for you to say, hey, you're matching a description. Where were you? That's a consensual encounter. You don't go and say, hey, you're detained because we suspect you of trespassing. Because suspicion is based on the facts known to the officer, not to the. That's enough for what?
That's enough for the detention.
So the detention was lawful, you're saying?
The detention was. The fellow ID in the arrest was not.
So this whole thing became unlawful because first off, he never said that I was detained. Never once said that I was detained.
I'm trying to answer your questions.
Okay. This question. Okay, going back to what happened today. He never said that I wasn't detained. So as far as I'm concerned, I could have walked off. Because if you're just asking or it's a consensual encounter, I can make it unconsensual and just walk away.
There's a lot of what ifs. Yeah, I mean, I can sit here and say that, but that's why I'm trying to find the facts. First from you, then from the deputy. And then we'll move on.
Okay, I'm done with my story. You can have the deputy and give his story. Okay, let's put it this way. If he comes here and apologizes to me, I won't litigate this whole thing.
It's up to you. I mean, I can always, my job is obviously make it better for you. Let me go talk to him.
Yeah. So the law student basically is asking for an apology, and the supervisor is going back and forth, and he actually goes and gets the arresting officer and brings him in. And it sounds like there may be an apology.
Yes, Mr. 14. So, have anything to say to me? No? You said you laughed at me? said that I was a dumb law student. Did I or did I not?
Okay.
Did you or did you not?
Did I not?
Did you say that I was a dumb law student?
No, I didn't say where you learned law, sir.
No, sir. You got me into the cruiser. It's on your body cam too. It's on my phone too. We got into the cruiser, and you said like, you're a really dumb law. When we were getting down here in the station too, you're a really dumb law student, aren't you? You get me into the thing, and you start making fun. Oh, everybody look at him. He's a law student. He's a law student. You left me in there with the cuffs on.
Okay.
And I told you, didn't I tell you that what you were doing was unlawful? Did you believe me?
No, it's not that I didn't believe
Okay.
you. I
Did you get the supervisor when I asked you to?
Okay.
No, you said I didn't need one.
No, I never said.
It's on your body camera. It's on my phone.
Yes,
Don't
you
lie.
asked for a supervisor. Well, what did I tell you?
You said you don't need one. Turn around and put your hands behind your
No, I
back.
told you we're not going to get one until we get to the station.
You know what? You don't need a supervisor because what's going to happen is, dude, I'm going to place you under arrest for failure ID, okay? And that's going to be on you, not me, brother. You know what? You don't need a supervisor.
No, you didn't. It's on your body camera.
I wouldn't disrespect my supervisor like that, man.
Well,
because
you are.
we were in the motions, and you know, and I'm in the wrong. I really am. I'm not going to lie to you, brother. Okay?
You are in the wrong, and I told you were in the wrong, and I told you were gonna, and I told you all this, and you thought it was funny.
I never thought it was funny.
No, you laughed. You walked in and trying to make everyone laugh.
Funny were your comments, brother. That's it.
What were my comments?
Your comments that you're saying Florida code this. I'm gonna get a new Mustang.
Florida versus JL. That's case law. You don't know case law? I can tell because you unlawfully arrested me. It wasn't a mistake. He broke the law. It's not a mistake.
And that's what we're here.
That's
That's
what
why
I'm
we're
talking
here. And now you are gonna buy me a new Mustang. You are, because now all this, that's gonna get forwarded at request. Your dash cam in your car, everything, my phone, your badge numbers, everything's gonna come into one single file record. It's gonna come in here tomorrow, and that's gonna go straight to my attorney. And how do you think? And you lost your qualified immunity right now. Right now,
Okay,
you're by
sir.
yourself.
So it's
what
getting
you
out of
saying?
control. You said something different to me before. Take off. I will take your complaint.
Well, do you have the complaint form? I can fill out.
No, I have to fill it out myself. Is there anything else besides what you told me at first that has changed, or anything else that we have to add to your complaint?
No, that's fine. I'll see you in court.
So the way the supervisor was looking at it, he's trying to resolve the situation. He brings the arresting officer in, and things sort of go off the rails at that point. The arresting officer admits that it was a bad arrest. The law student just sort of lets him have it. When he says you've lost qualified immunity, at that point the supervisor realizes that this was a mistake, and he calls the whole thing off. Now the kid can just make a complaint. We know how that goes. So I pulled two different recent 10th Circuit opinions that you can review. One is United States versus Balance from 2022, and the other one is United States versus Gaines from 2021. These go over the basic law there regarding reasonable suspicion. The Fourth Amendment protects against unreasonable searches and seizures. However, that does not prevent police officers from making a brief investigatory stop of a person when they have a particularized and objective basis for suspecting that particular person of criminal activity. The reasonable suspicion needed to justify this stop depends upon both the content of information possessed by the police and its degree of reliability. The courts look to the totality of the circumstances, the whole picture, in order to determine whether the police have a reasonable suspicion. A mere hunch is not enough. So these principles apply with full force to investigative stops based on information from anonymous tips. The Supreme Court has struck a delicate balance on when an anonymous tip can provide a reasonable suspicion for one of these investigatory stops. And the court has noted that an anonymous tip alone seldom demonstrates the informant's basis of knowledge or veracity, and seldom, therefore, supplies reasonable suspicion. The court nonetheless has acknowledged that under appropriate circumstances, an anonymous tip can demonstrate sufficient indicia of reliability to provide reasonable suspicion to make an investigatory stop. And the court noted that in United States versus Chavez, an earlier 10th Circuit opinion, we summarized the most important factors we usually consider in anonymous tip situations. 1, whether the informant lacked true anonymity, whether the police knew some details about the informant or had means to discover them. Secondly, whether the informant reported contemporaneous first-hand knowledge. Third, whether the informant provided detailed information about the events observed. 4, the informant's stated motivation for reporting the information. And 5, whether the police were able to corroborate information provided by the informant. So the informant has to be reliable. The police can't just say, well, we got a call. Not only does that call have to report some sort of suspected criminal activity, but it has to be reliable. And those are the factors that the 10th Circuit specifically will look at. You can really get into the weeds on whether the police were objectively reasonable in relying on this anonymous tip or anonymous call that they received. But in these videos, you will see police officers that will just say, well, we got a call. We got a call about a suspicious person. You got a call from who? Was it the property owner? Was it somebody? Do you know who the person is? Do you know whether this person is reliable? Was this person reporting criminal activity? You can't just say we got a call. You have to go into the substance of the call, the identity of the caller, in order to determine whether or not that information is objectively reasonable suspicion in order to justify you forcibly detaining a citizen. It doesn't matter whether the police academy taught you, well, you're making contact. You got a call, so you're making contact. Step 1 is to get the person's name and date of birth. No, the Supreme Court didn't say anything about that. The 10th Circuit didn't say anything about that. Reasonable suspicion is the standard. It can get very complicated, but the important thing is that criminal activity must have been reported or suspected, and that must be objectively reasonable and particular to the person. You see the word particularized in all of this case law. What does that mean? It has to be particular allegations about a particular individual. So here we don't know the details, and that's what I think we need to know is who called the cops, what is their identity, what specifically was reported. That's why step 1 in investigating a civil rights violation and evaluating whether or not you want to file a lawsuit is you need to, using a FOIA request or whatever means are available, get that 911 call so you can see what was reported to the police, what did dispatch say. Yes, it can be a complicated issue. That's step 1. So as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. Also follow me on Twitter at JohnBryanESQ or on Facebook at the John H. Bryan Attorney at Law page. If you have a video that you want me to review or you want to submit, please use the submission link below. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.